The time has finally come. Football Manager 2024 is finally out, and we're going to witness some football that we have never seen on Football Manager before. We are going to kick this year off with a 4-3-3 tactic, which of course includes the new libero and the fullback role. The winger role has some tweaks, and we're going to use those tweaks as well. And my word, the football is spectacular. So without the further hold up, let's get stuck right into it. Yes, welcome to FM24. As you can see, I've played 12 games as Barcelona, and you know what, to be fair, I didn't want to play any more because I want to use this tactic in an actual save. So far in the La Liga, EA Sports, we have played 12 games. We've won 11. We've lost one game so far, which was away to Valencia. In the Champions League, we have played 3 games. We've won all of those games 100%, playing Manchester United, Milan and Genk, and we haven't actually started the rest of the competitions yet. You know full well the aim is going to be possession based, so most possession on average. So far we are second with 64%, which is a lot of the ball, and we've had so much of the ball that we've had the fewest shots against us and the fewest conceded. Not the most clean sheets yet though. At the end of the season we should have that. Statistically, nobody contests Lewandowski as he scored 17 goals so far. He's had the most shots, but when looking at the most assists, Rafinha and Gavi are joint second, or joint first actually, with 6 assists apiece. I know you're itching to see the tactics, so let's break it down, and then after we are also going to see some gameplay. We are going to start with the goalkeeper, super keeper on the attack, which is fairly important because on the attacking duty, he will be happy to move the ball out with his feet, but on support and on defense, he may look for those counter-attacking passes, and we want to be heavy possession based, so we are going to be looking for a goalkeeper that's going to be happy to move the ball out with his feet. Moving on to the back four, it's going to be important to understand why I chose these roles that I've chosen for the libero and for the inverted wing back. I want them to actually push into the midfield line, and that leaves us with 2 at the back, and that allows us to build up with this 2-3-5 shape. So the aim when I'm building up attacks, I do want to look for that 2-3-5 shapes, kind of influence from Pep Guardiola here, of course. So for the back four, the left back is their inverted fullback. Then we've got the libero, the central defender. He's just going to be calm in possession. We're not going to be using a ball playing defender, just a central defender, someone that's just going to be playing those sideways and forward backwards passes. And then we've got the inverted wing back, who's going to be moving alongside the deep line playmaker. In DM, we're using a deep line playmaker, someone that will hold his position, which again is fairly important. So as these 2 fullbacks do move inside, we kind of create these nice little triangles around the deep line playmaker, which is easy for him to move the ball about and then hopefully help us progress the ball forward. So we are using a DLP in defensive midfield, and then we're using a box-to-box midfielder and a Mezzala on attack in central midfield. The Mezzala on attack, of course, is going to be the more attacking central midfielder out of the 2, looking to break forward on a regular basis and look to create chances, whereas the box-to-box midfielder is just going to help us create our 5-man attacking shape. So the box-to-box midfielder will be moving into the channels. That's what I've got as a added instruction, and again he's just going to move further forward into this left channel here, and then in attack we will look something like this. Now moving on to the wingers, because we do have some nice little tweaks made to the winger roles. The wingers can now cut inside with the ball. So again, taken from Pep Guardiola, we've got our 2 wingers hugging the touchline. The moment they do receive the ball though, they will look to move inside of the ball and link up play with the other midfielders in order to help us break the opponents down. But one of the main reasons why the 2 wingers will be stretched out wide, the reason why we are using wingers that are naturally just going to be looking to hug the touchline, is so we can stretch the opposition's back line. So ideally the 2 fullbacks will be looking to mark our wingers, which will create some space in between the fullback and the central defenders, which then allows our midfielders who are occupying the channels to make them move in between. And then lastly, we just wanted a striker that will bury his chances, so we've got the advance forward. Before talking about the team instructions, I must stress this was only tested at Barcelona and for those 14 games that we saw as well, or 16, 17 maybe games that we've played. So really some really good players. If you are going to use this tactic or look to use something similar to this, you should have some good players that can able to handle the libero role and the deep line playmaker role and the inverted wingback role in those leagues that you are in. But now, talking about the team instructions, mentality, positive. We want to be positive and put our stamp on the game. The attacking width fairly narrow because I do want the ball actually to go into our central midfielders. I do want to work the ball into midfield, and then when we're moving into the creative phase of the game, we can then play the ball out to our wingers and then kind of just stretch the game that way as well. So attacking width fairly narrow, and then focus our attacks down the flanks. Try and, of course, if we're playing on the right hand side, try and shift our team a little bit to the right hand side and then to the left hand side as well. Create those overloads. Passing directness shorter with a slightly lower tempo as well. We want to be patient, not too patient. We want to make things happen, but patient with the ball. In the final third, low crosses, work the ball into the box for chance creation and be more disciplined, which again is fairly important for us to maintain our structure, our 2-3-5 structure. We must be disciplined in our movement. When we have lost the ball, immediately we will try and win the ball back just for a few moments. When possession has been won, we don't really have a set instruction. If the option is open for a counter attack, then do it. But if not, we want to maintain our slightly lower tempo. When the goalkeeper is in possession, distribute the ball quickly, but look for our centre backs and take that short kick. So drop the ball out of your hand and take a short kick. With the sweeper keeper on attack, he will be fairly happy to do this. Lastly, out of possession, I mean, the standard to get the good results in FM. We will be using a high press standard defensive line, much more trigger press, prevent short goalkeeper distribution and get stuck in. But I have noticed in games, you will want to turn it or tune it down a little in games because your players will actually get tired, and that actually will affect your results. And also to stress, with tactics coming over the coming days, high press and much more trigger press is not the only way to play FM. But let's get stuck into the gameplay. I said I wanted my build-up shape to be a 2-3-5. Now Balde is my left back, Christensen is my left-sided centre-back, Koundé my right-sided centre-back, and then Sergi Alberto as my right-back, and then we've got Sergi de Jong as our holding midfielder. So Balde has the ball, he plays the ball down the line to Rafinha. There's no opening, so we're going to play the ball backwards. Here's Balde on the ball. Now Rafinha again. Here's Frankie de Jong, Christensen pulling out wide. That is my libero on the ball, by the way. Deep line playmaker there, Frankie de Jong. Here's Christensen again. So we're just patient with the ball. We play it backwards to Balde, who is the left back, but playing as that inverted fullback. Here's Rafinha as we work the ball out wide. Now I'm working the ball into chance creation. I also want the ball to go into the byline. So we want one of the wingers or even someone just making that run into the channel to work the ball towards the byline and then get a cutback. So here's Koundé on the ball. We've worked it from side to side. We've worked it from the left hand side now to the right hand side. Here's Gavi now. Here's Sergi Roberto. We're patient again. He's driving down towards the byline now, pulls it back. Gavi shot block and Pedri just slots it in. Mwah. We see something very similar again in the exact same game. Look at Christensen, the libero, moving into midfield alongside, well, I would say alongside Frankie de Jong, but Sergi Roberto has also come inside, which again makes it a 2-3, and then our 5 attackers around here. So here's Koundé on the ball, patient, walks with it, Ferran, back to Koundé. He's going to move the ball forward into Gavi. Just patient. I can go downstairs, make a cup of tea, come back, and we're still just knocking the ball about. Here's Gavi again on the ball, plays it back to Koundé. It's very patient until we do spot the run again towards the byline, knock it in, Lewandowski. Easy. In the more difficult games, I did put my DLP on defend, so the deep line playmaker, I did use him on the defensive duty in the difficult away games. Milan here in the San Siro. Now, note here again, Rafinha out on the wide flank. He's the left winger. I did ask him to stay wide, and the aim here was to stretch their back line, try and get their fullback to get to Rafinha and create a space here. So here's Christensen, and as he plays the ball to Rafinha, the fullback moves, and we've made a nice little space here that Pedri or even Lewandowski can occupy. But it is Pedri, he finds a little space, and then we're just going to keep the ball here. Here's Pedri, well, he gets tackled, and then we're going to play it backwards now, back to Balde, the inverted fullback. Here's Pedri down the line to Rafinha. He's going to play the ball down the touchline to Lewandowski. It's a goal. And for the last goal, to be fair, I do want to play some Football Manager myself on stream, so make sure you come and join me on stream on Twitch, twitch.tv RDF Tactics. So here Sergi Roberto plays the ball out wide to Ferran Torres. He's gonna pull it back. He's cutting inside with the ball. Look at him. He's cut. I mean, he's literally cut to the other flank. Here's Christensen. There's Pedri on the ball now. Plays it back to Balde. Balde forward to Pedri. Pedri finds Lewandowski on the run, on the last man, and he slots it in. And there we are. But thank you guys for tuning in. That is the 4-3-3 sort of positional play. I wouldn't say it's the best tactic, but it's just a tactic to give you guys and just to show you how Football Manager 2024 is looking like in the beta mode. Make sure you like this video. Make sure you comment which tactics you would like to see, and I'll see you guys soon. Stay safe. God bless. Peace out and boop.